With the college basketball season approaching, there are many things to be excited about, from top returning players to new NBA-ready prospects prepared to make an impact on the college basketball scene. So in this video, we break down some of the top college basketball teams based upon their recruiting class, returning players, strength of conference and schedule to predict the top 10 college basketball teams by season end. So in order to get a base for which we can predict the top college basketball teams, we must take a look back at the top college basketball teams last season, at the beginning of the season and at the end of the season. Based upon the start of last season coaches poll, the top 10 teams were Duke, Kansas, Villanova, Kentucky, Oregon, North Carolina, Virginia, Xavier, Michigan State, and Wisconsin. By the end of the season, this had changed dramatically as North Carolina claimed the top spot at the end of the season coaches poll by winning the championship, followed by Gonzaga, Oregon, Kansas, Kentucky, South Carolina, Arizona, Villanova, UCLA, and Florida. As you can see, many teams that were predicted by coaches to be top 10 college basketball teams might not live up to the expectations by the end of the season, and often there are many surprises by the end. So this list will be very interesting come March. So for this list, we count down the top 10 college basketball teams in the 2017-2018 season with the best chances to win the NCAA championship this year. In 2016, the Villanova Wildcats won their first championship in 35 years, thanks to a spectacular game-winning shot by junior Chris Jenkins at the time, returning for his senior season with the Wildcats, leading them to a 32-4 record in 2017 and ahead of the class of the Big East, with help from fellow senior Josh Hart, who would get the nod for Big East Player of the Year in 2017. The Wildcats would cruise through the Big East tournament, securing the 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, but the defending champions would get a wake-up call by Wisconsin in the second round, falling to the 8th seed 62-65. The Wildcats will have many losses from a year ago, as Josh Hart and Chris Jenkins have both looked to pursue their careers further in the NBA. Jermaine Samuels, the 44th best prospect in the 2017 class ranked by ESPN and the top recruit for the Wildcats this year, will look to take their place. Experience will come from their returning junior guards Jalen Brunson and Malachi Bridges, who put up 14 points per game and 4 assists and 9 points per game and 4 rebounds respectively this past season, and will be looked upon as leaders of this year's team. The Wildcats will also boast one of the most experienced coaches in college basketball, in Coach Jay Wright. In his 24th season coaching basketball and 17th coaching the Wildcats, combined with the fact that the Wildcats have owned the Big East the last 3 years, and in the Big East Championship game the last 3 years, winning the Big East tournament in 2015 and 2017. Lots of players on the Wildcats will have to step up big if they are poised to make a championship run again this year. After an early exit from the NCAA tournament in 2016 for Xavier, the Musketeers found themselves on the bubble of the NCAA tournament in 2017 with a 24-14 record and a loss to Creighton in the Big East semifinals. Entering the 2017 NCAA tournament as the underdog 11th seed, the Musketeers shine, performing multiple upsets over Maryland and second-seeded Arizona in their way to an Elite Eight appearance, before eventually losing to Gonzaga. While the Musketeers will suffer the loss of talent this season, such as their second leading scorer in Edmund Summer and his fellow graduating seniors, the team still retains a lot of returning talent from a year ago, such as their leading scorer from last season in Trayvon Bullet, who put up 18 points and 5 rebounds last season, and third leading scorer JP Makura, who averaged 14 points per game along with 4 rebounds for the team. And with the addition of 32nd ranked player by ESPN point guard Paul Scruggs, the Musketeers will have a great mix of experience and talent. Xavier has found a newfound consistency with coach Chris Mack, making the tournament the last 4 years, including a Final Four appearance in the 2013-2014 season. Will this be the season that Xavier shocks the world, or will they fall flat onto expectations? The Kansas Jayhawks are one of those teams that are in the mix to win the NCAA championship every year. While their last championship was in 2008, the Jayhawks have made consistent tournament appearances with 33 straight trips to the NCAA tournament since 1984. Combined with their dominance of the Big 12 Conference, for which the Jayhawks would finish in first place in the conference the past 3 years, including a 31-5 record in 2017. The Jayhawks have owned the Big 12 as of recent, but have suffered many letdowns in their pursuit of a national championship. While the Jayhawks started hot with 3 blowout wins to start the 2017 NCAA tournament, they would suffer yet another letdown to Oregon in the Elite Eight. Following the loss, the Jayhawks would lose many important assets to their program's success from last season, including Big 12 Player of the Year Frank Mason III and freshman phenom Josh Jackson. But every year, Kansas seems to reload with even more talent than the year before, with sophomore transfer guard Malik Newman looking to make an impact on the squad after sitting out a year, and some new freshman big men to keep your eyes on, especially the 18th best high school recruit power forward Billy Preston and point guard Marcus Garrett, the 64th best prospect according to ESPN. But their experience will come from Devontae Graham, who will look to have a big year as the highest scoring returning player from a year ago, with 13 points and 4 assists. But it won't be all on Graham's shoulders to lead the team, as they have an excellent head coach in Bill Self, who has shown he can take teams with talent and turn them into consistent winners. The question is, do the Jayhawks have what it takes to get over the hump this year? The Louisville Cardinals are one of these consistent teams that are often always overlooked, having not missed the tournament since 2002 with 3 national championships in the program's history, most recently being in 2013. The Cardinals pulled off a solid 25-9 record with a 12-6 record in the ACC Conference, placing second in the ACC, but a loss to Duke in the ACC tournament wouldn't stop the committee from giving the Cardinals the 2nd seed in the 2017 NCAA tournament, but they would get bounced early in the 2nd round to Michigan. Their losses this season will include the Cardinals' most improved and highest scoring player from a year ago, Donovan Mitchell, to the NBA. But coach Rick Pitino has managed to recruit a strong recruiting class this year, nailing 3 strong college basketball prospects in the class of 2017, and Malik Williams, the 6'11 stretch big man and the 29th best overall prospect according to ESPN, Darius Perry, the 54th best overall prospect, and guard Jordan Nwora, 56th best overall prospect. But the Cardinals' prize recruit in 2017 was guard Brian Bowen III, the 14th best overall college prospect, will look to replace Donovan Mitchell scoring in the backcourt and has plenty of talent to do so. Along with returning players point guard Quentin Snyder, who was the Cardinals' 2nd leading scorer last season, and forward Deng Adele looking to improve his draft stock, the Cardinals will have a great balance of experience and youth and could be one of those sneaky good teams to watch this season. The UCLA Bruins have seemed to revamp their program after an abysmal 15-17 record in 2016. With a 6-12 record in the Pac-12, the Bruins showed the power of a strong recruiting class can make on your team, with an unbelievable turnaround to a 31-5 2017 regular season record and a 15-3 record in the Pac-12, mostly due to the play of top prospects Lonzo Ball and TJ Leaf. While a loss to Kentucky in the Sweet 16 would derail their chance at a championship in 2017, the Bruins will have to find ways to replace many players on their roster from a year ago, including senior Bryce Alford, who became UCLA's all-time leader in three-point makes in his time there, and of course other UCLA players Lonzo Ball, Isaac Hamilton, and TJ Leaf, who look to pursue their basketball dreams further in the NBA. While the Bruins will lose a lot of talent this year, they will also gain a lot of talent in the form of new freshman recruits, including the 20th best college prospect, the electrifying point guard Jalen Hand, from Foothills Christian Academy, a scoring machine during his senior campaign with averages of 29 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds, and over 2.5 steals a game. Speaking of scoring machines, the Bruins will boast another top scorer in high school basketball in LiAngelo Ball, who put up averages of over 30 points per game in high school himself, while looking to follow in his brother's footsteps to the NBA. The Bruins weren't finished there, as they locked in the 26th best college prospect in 2017 in Chris Wilt, the #1 player in the state of Indiana with averages of 22.6 points and 5.6 rebounds per game during his junior season at North Central High School. Sure up their inside, the Bruins would also recruit big man Cody Riley from Sierra Canyon High School, the 45th best prospect in the 2017 class. But this year, the Bruins' strength will come from the experience of returning players Aaron Holiday and Thomas Welsh, who will be looked upon as their leaders to keep the Bruins moving into the right direction. While missing the tournament in 2016, Coach Steve Alford has started to transform this Bruins team into a coach's recruiting dream. But can this strong recruiting class lead the Bruins to their first Final Four since 2008? In 2016, the Tar Heels suffered heartbreak in the championship game, and with many of the Tar Heels group staying, they set upon their mission to get back to the promised land and this time finish the deal. The Tar Heels took their spot at the top of the SEC with a 33-7 record and a 14-4 record in the ACC last season. While losing to Duke in the second round in the ACC tournament, the Tar Heels knew their focus lied in finding redemption in the NCAA tournament. And in the tournament, they proved that their combination of experience and NBA blossoming talent was too much for teams to handle, as the Tar Heels paved their way to the second straight championship game appearance thanks to the leadership and play of players such as Justin Jackson, Kennedy Meeks, Isaiah Hicks, who would lead their team to their 7th national championship in the title game versus Gonzaga. Just like every team, the Tar Heels will suffer many losses to their team thanks to college graduation and the NBA draft, but will still get back a lot of returning talent from a year ago, including the Final Four most valuable player, Joel Berry II, Theo Pinson, and Seventh Woodson, who will look to put up a career year in the blue and white. While not adding a ton of recruits in the class of 2017, the Tar Heels would land a promising talent in Jalik Felton, a nephew of NBA player Raymond Felton, comes in as a freshman at North Carolina as the 64th best college prospect, hoping for similar success of other Roy Williams top recruits. In their way of a repeat performance of 2017, the Tar Heels will look to hope their past experience in the tournament will help them overcome the much improved talent in the ACC, with teams like Duke, Louisville, and Notre Dame all adding major additions to catch up with the success of the Tar Heels. Will North Carolina's recent success continue until next year, or will they lose their motivation to be one of the college basketball's top teams?
The 15 seed is going to take down the Michigan State Spartans. Tennessee, the 15 seed, has won it, and they are moving on.
In 2016, the Michigan State Spartans recorded a 29-5 record, but a loss to the 15th-seeded Middle Tennessee in the first round of the NCAA tournament would shock the world. In the 2017 season, the Spartans took a step back during the regular season, recording a 20-15 record, just barely making the NCAA tournament with a 10-8 record in the Big Ten before getting bounced in the second round by the Kansas Jayhawks. This season's Spartans will be full of expectations, with the departures of Aaron Harris, Alvin Ellis, Matt Van Dyke, and the rest of the Spartans graduating class. While the team will look different, it won't be dramatically different, as they will retain two of the program's top scorers from a year ago, in Miles Bridges and Nick Ward, who scored 16 points and 8 rebounds and 13 points and 4 rebounds respectively last season. They will look upon new freshman recruit big man Jared Jackson, the 9th best college prospect in the class of 2017, to not only replace the Spartans' losses from a season ago, but to shore up their inside presence. While the Spartans will have a ton of talent this season, they will look to rebound from a poor in-conference record last season, as Wisconsin, Michigan, Purdue, Maryland, and Minnesota all finished with a better conference record last season than Michigan State. The Spartans have shown consistency in making the NCAA tournament, appearing in the last 19 NCAA tournaments, with Coach Tom Izzo including a national championship in 2000 and making the Final Four as recent as 2015, but their success in the big dance as of recent has been rather underwhelming, as they are known to fall flat when living up to lofty expectations. Will this be the year that they can change that? The Arizona Wildcats went on a tear in 2017. With a loaded recruiting class in 2016, they pulled off a 32-5 overall record in 2017, placing first in the Pac-12 in the regular season and winning the Pac-12 tournament. Yet even with all their success in the regular season, the Arizona Wildcats still failed short to live up to expectations, as they would get upset by Xavier in the Sweet 16. This year it seems the Wildcats have done it yet again and landed another NBA-ready prospect ready to take this team to the next level in big man DeAndre Ayton. This 7-foot beast was ranked as the 3rd best overall prospect in the class of 2017, finishing as the #1 center in the nation with averages of 21 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game during his senior season. But the recruiting didn't stop there, as they would also land Brandon Randolph, the 6'6" shooting guard from Yonkers, New York, in addition to forwards Ira Lee and Emmanuel Aycock, both top 50 recruits in the class of 2017. But most important to Arizona's success this season is the play of the returning players Alonzo Trier and Raul Atkins, who were the Wildcats' 2nd and 3rd leading scorers last season. The Wildcats will hope that in Coach Sean Miller's 10th season, they can win their first national championship since 1997. While the Wildcats have owned the Pac-12 as of recent, tournament success has been another story, as the Arizona Wildcats have not seen the Final Four since 2001. And closest they have gotten under Coach Miller's aid is an Elite 8 appearance in 2015. Will this be the year that they can live up to tournament expectations? The Kentucky Wildcats found success in the 2017 NCAA tournament with a trip to the Sweet 16, but following a heartbreaking loss to North Carolina in the Elite 8, the Wildcats would be forced to reload after a successful 2017 regular season, with a 32-5 record and a dominant 16-2 in the SEC. But with the loss in the Elite 8, the Wildcats would suffer huge losses in freshman talent, with De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Bam Adebayo, and many others looking to pursue their basketball dreams in the NBA. Returning for the Cats this season include redshirt freshman Hamidou Diallo, who after exploring the NBA process in 2017, decided to return to improve his draft stock this season. Joining him this season will be a ton of top freshman recruits, but leading the way is 6'9" forward Kevin Knox, who put up monster stats of 28 points and 11 rebounds in his senior season at Tampa Catholic High School. The Kentucky Wildcats will be loaded with big men, as they acquired 3 top big men in the top 20 of the college basketball recruits in 2017. With PJ Washington, Nick Richards, and Jared Vanderbilt joining the squad. The Wildcats will boast 6 players at 6'9" or above. This height advantage will give the Wildcats a leg up already on many teams. Kentucky also added guards Quadjay Green and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to replace talent lost in their backcourt. With consistent long runs in the NCAA tournament, Coach John Calipari has proven that he can turn one-and-done players into national champions. But with little to no returning experience and with a much improved SEC, will this be the year Kentucky continues their dominance, or will another team be able to challenge them? Last season, the Duke Blue Devils finished with a 28-9 record, but 11-7 record in the ACC. But in the ACC tournament, the Duke Blue Devils would get hot, as they would go on a 3-game winning streak to defeat Notre Dame in the championship game for the ACC crown. Following a loss to South Carolina in the 2nd round of the NCAA tournament, Jason Tatum, Luke Kennard, Frank Jackson, and Harry Giles would declare for the NBA draft, as the Duke Blue Devils would lose many of their talented freshmen from a year ago. But this year, the Duke Blue Devils returned with a roster reloaded and ready to go for it all. Returning for his senior season, Grayson Allen, an experienced guard who scored 14 points per game last season in the ACC, is more than capable of putting up bigger numbers, as he has shown in his sophomore season, and over the past couple seasons, he has shown he is more willing to let his teammates shine, and with a loaded incoming freshman class, Duke's roster will be shining with NBA-ready talent. The Blue Devils would nail down 4 of the top 10 college basketball recruits in 2017, starting with the 5th best overall prospect by ESPN, power forward Wendell Carter from Pace Academy, Georgia, and then the number 8th overall prospect, shooting guard Gary Trent Jr., who put up 22 points per game in Nike's EYBL circuit in 2016. Wendell Carter was no slouch either, as he dominated in the paint with 22 points and 15 rebounds and 5 blocks per game in his time in high school. It wouldn't stop there, as number 1 point guard in the class of 2017, Trayvon Duval from IMG Academy, committed to the Blue Devils, giving them one of the most talented backcourts in the country. But the main attraction for the Duke Blue Devils this season will be the highly touted anticipation of freshman phenom Marvin Bagley from Sierra Canyon High School. Bagley stormed his way through high school basketball, averaging 24 points and 10 rebounds during his junior season, before reclassifying to the class of 2017 and replacing Michael Porter Jr. as the top recruit in the nation. And he would live up to his name during the summer, playing against NBA players in the Drew League, showing off his enormous amount of talent. While the Blue Devils seem to have a loaded roster, there are still many weaknesses that may arise that may prevent them from living up to expectations, such as a lack of chemistry among a completely new team from a year ago, a lack of valuable assets off the bench, and the unpredictability of Grayson Allen. While Grayson Allen can become the Blue Devils' most valuable asset, he can also be their biggest detriment. While he has put up impressive scoring numbers during his time at Duke, each season the Blue Devils have failed to reach deep in the NCAA tournament. Allen has seen some great numbers and success in the NCAA, but his temper and attitude seemed to cost him multiple games during his junior season, and cost him winning many close games away from home last season. Grayson Allen will look to this year for his last chance to win a championship for Duke. And with a team loaded with talent and an excellent coach in Coach K leading the way, this just might be the year they do it. But what do you think? Who will be the college basketball national champion this season? As mentioned earlier, we may or may not see many of these teams live up to this ranking by the end of the season, and may even see many dark horses appear during the college basketball season. So do you agree with this list? Which team should be ranked higher or lower? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, but until then, it's been your boy, Johnny Walker LA, and I'm out. Bow.